Hello and a very warm welcome to all of you. I'm Neha Bhardwaj-Alter and this is Game On, where you get the latest from the world of sports. And today we begin with TV9's groundbreaking initiative, the Indian Tigers and Tigresses. Yes, it's time for Indian Tigers and Tigresses. How are our 28 young stars doing in Gmunden in Austria? Well, they played two friendly matches yesterday, and Indian Tigers, they delivered an absolutely outstanding performance, clinching a massive 7-0 win over Gmunden Football Academy. They also avenged the defeat the Tigresses suffered earlier last evening. Though the girls faced a tough loss, the Indian Tigers, they rode back to an emphatic win, showing their resilience and determination. These kids were excited to play these friendlies. Our colleague Kabir Naqvi is there, and he spoke to them, and it showed how passionate they were in wanting to go out there and win the match. But the girls lost. Unfortunately, the boys won their game. The atmosphere was absolutely brilliant as well. Football lovers from the town and surrounding areas gathered to witness this clash. The Indian diaspora, they made their presence felt as well, with supporters traveling all the way from Vienna to cheer on the boys and girls. The energy in the stadium was absolutely wonderful. It was a thrilling environment for the players and for the spectators as well. That was day 3. Day 4 was as important for these kids. A coach from VFB Stuttgart, he came to Gmunden Football Academy for scouting talent as the boys and girls geared up to prove their mettle on the field. 4 kids were selected to travel to Stuttgart in Germany. VFB Stuttgart is one of the top clubs in Germany. Just last night, they triumphed over RB Leipzig and they made it to DFB Pokal finals. So lots to look forward to for these 4 kids and their training in VFB Stuttgart at the MHP Arena possibly. But what an experience this has been for these kids. 28 of them who've gone from here. They were selected through a scouting process, came from different parts of India and reached Austria. Some of these kids have not left their villages before this. So for them to travel all the way from India to Austria and play with top European coaches guiding them, an absolutely brilliant experience. Now, the friendly matches between Indian Tigers and Tigresses with their counterparts from the Gmunden Football Academy was also attended by the Indian diaspora who are living in Austria. Some families drove to Gmunden from Vienna to support the young Tigers and Tigresses. Our colleague Kabir Naqvi, he spoke to these players and the fans after the match.
The 2 matches are finally over here. And as you can see, the Indian Tigers have avenged the defeat of the Indian Tigresses. That's what we're looking at. A score beyond your imagination. We beat them by 6 goals. Yes! Venkat, good stuff. Venkat, how was it like? Kaisa laga?
Brilliant, sir.
Good job, guys. Okay, all right. 3 cheers for the Indian Tigers and Tigresses. Hey, hip hooray! All right. So, first and foremost, हम लोग कितने गोल से जीते पहले ये बताओ? 7-0 is what happened. The Indian Tigresses lost. However, they put up a great, determined fight. But the Indian Tigers have avenged that defeat. Beat them by 7-0 over here, ladies and gentlemen. What a great match that we saw here. Proper passing, proper shooting. We saw all of that over here. We've got some Indians that are here to watch that match as well. How was it, ma'am? How did you like the match? The Indian Tigers over here playing?
Very nice.
Yeah?
Yes.
It was very nice. What did you feel, my friend?
Very good.
Yeah? मजा आया देख के मैच?
हाँ जी.
बहुत मजा आया. मैम आपको कैसा लगा? आपको कैसा लगा?
बहुत मजा आया.
Energy थी. Sir, आप बताइए. Thank you so much for the Indian diaspora over here as well in Austria. They've taken the time out to drive out over here and come and support the Indian Tigers. Indian Tigers again. He finally won. Ma'am, sir, तो आपको कैसा लगा बताइए?
बहुत अच्छा लगा, बहुत बढ़िया था मैच, बहुत एनर्जी थी। हाँ बहुत।
What did you think, sir?
बहुत अच्छा था भाई, बच्चे ने बहुत जोर लगाया गेम में।
बहुत बच्चे हमारी हार गई मैच थोड़े से डिफरेंस से, लेकिन लड़कों ने पूरा वापस ले लिया, पूरा वो जवाब दिया पूरा करारा।
हाँ जी भाजी, बहुत अच्छा था भाजी।
All right. And all right, we've got too many Indian diaspora that has now trickled in. Thank you so much again for coming out. How did you find the match?
I would only say we are so proud of them. बहुत अच्छा खेला इन्होंने, हमें बहुत प्राउड है कि इंडिया की टीम यहाँ पे आई इन ऑस्ट्रिया। ये पहली बार हम लोगों ने भी देखा और हमें सबको बहुत अच्छा लगा। हम स्पेशली वियना से यहाँ देखने के लिए आए हैं, so I'm so proud of them.
Vienna से आप, you traveled all the way from Vienna to come here. Sir, did you also travel all the way from Vienna?
हाँ जी, वियना से आए हैं हम।
तो कैसा लगा आपको मैच फिर यहाँ पे देख के?
बढ़िया लगा, बहुत बढ़िया लगा। आप बच्चे लेके आए, बहुत अच्छा लगा, बहुत अच्छा खेले। लड़कियां बहुत अच्छा खेली और लड़के बहुत अच्छा खेले।
All right, so everybody's given in their affirmations that the boys and the girls put in their best foot forward, and after 3 days of intensive training, well, it seems like the Indian Tigers beat them by a margin of 7-0. That's a great margin to look at. And even though the Indian Tigresses, with a very slight margin, lost their match, the big brothers, the Indian Tigers, they sort of avenged that defeat. We can only hope for better things to come. The week is not yet over. Of course, there are legends to meet. The entire project is still underway. We're going to still be training over here. And mind you, like we suggested, because of our international partners and partners back at home, our sports goods partner, Nivea with Gale, of course, with the Punjab government as well. We've got Amul as a nutrition partner. It wouldn't have been successful without them. And now 3 more days of intensive training is left. And VFB Stuttgart is also waiting for those 4 stand-out players.
So it's the 4th day of their training and exposure trip. Tigers and Tigresses, they are going to be evaluated by the experts from VFB Stuttgart. Like I said, they will also select 4 players for an exposure trip to the Bundesliga club.
Today is another pivotal moment because, like you can see behind me, the girls are having their training session and the boys are having their training session over there. But what's interesting is that today, the international coach for the VfB Stuttgart, the Bundesliga legends, they have arrived here. They're going to handpick 4 of our students, 2 Indian Tigers and 2 Indian Tigresses, and then they have a lot in store for them because they're going to be taking that drive back to Stuttgart. So, like you can see, Coach Chris here with the girls working over here, and very soon from now, the international coach from Stuttgart is going to actually take a look at that. If you take a look right now, the international coach over here in that black jersey, Mr. Byron, he's very closely monitoring what the boys have to offer. Agility and sprint training that's actually underway. And let's just go to him and find out as to what he's actually looking for. Hello, sir. Thanks for joining us here. This is the international coach at VfB Stuttgart. Many thanks for making the long journey. I know, very congratulations. Stuttgart has also made it to the finals of the DFB Pokal. Must have been a crazy celebration last night. You're looking at our kids. You have to be, I mean, they have to be sharp, but you have to be equally sharp, isn't it? What is it that you're looking for, if I could ask you that?
Yes, especially for the younger talents, it is very important to see that spark, okay? It's always about something that makes them unique. So every coach that will select a player and will pick a player looks for that spark, especially in the young age groups, a strength that makes him go on top, that makes him special in a way. So that is something I want to see today. So the boys, they're already quite sharp, but yeah, so I want to see that spark.
And that's going to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'm not going to push you, but that is a golden opportunity for these kids.
Yeah, it is actually, I would say, even better. They will go to the practice grounds of our youth setup.
All right.
So they have the chance to actually practice with a couple of kids. If the opportunity comes, and yeah, so
all right.
that will be.
We're not going to give you any more spoilers here, and I really don't want you to, dwell away from what is it that you're doing. I'm going to leave you to it. Many thanks for talking to you. We're going to keep coming back and picking your brains a little bit later as well. Thank you so much for talking to us. So you heard the man over here. It's a big day for these kids, nonetheless. It's only day 4 of the training session here in Austria. The Indian Tigers and Tigresses. What a great partnership! And again, kudos to our nutrition partner Amul, our green energy partner Gale, all the various Indian government movements that are supporting us over here.
It is indeed a brilliant initiative, and you can see the excitement on the faces of those kids who've traveled all the way from here, and they're getting to train with international coaches. 4 of them will be going to VFB Stuttgart. A huge moment for all of them.